She took $25,000 from our joint account and then blamed me for the debt. Please stay with me as I tell my story. And please, do not forget to support our channel by subscribing to our channel, liking our videos, and sharing your loved ones. Your support means the world to us. Now to our story. We were supposed to be saving for a house. That was the plan, her idea, actually. She said she wanted stability. She was tired of renting, tired of roommates, tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I agreed. We both had steady jobs, no kids, no major expenses. It made sense. We opened a joint account and started funneling money into it every month. Nothing crazy, just what we could afford after bills. A little over a year in, we had just over $30,000 saved. We'd talk about it often. Dream houses on Zillow, colors for the kitchen, how many dogs we wanted. It felt real, like we were building something together. She handled most of the banking. She liked being in control of that stuff, and I trusted her. I still checked it occasionally, but mostly let it be. I had no reason to think anything was off, until the day I did. It started small. I got a weird email from the bank, one of those generic activity alert messages. I clicked through and saw withdrawal, $3,200, then another, $2,100, then one for $5,000. My stomach dropped. In total, $25,000 was gone. I thought it had to be some mistake. Fraud, maybe. I didn't want to panic, so I asked her about it casually. Like, hey, did you see this? Something weird's going on with our account. She didn't even blink. She stared at the screen for a second, then looked at me and said, "You spent it. Don't lie." I laughed at first. I thought she was joking, but she wasn't. Her face was stone cold. "You've been dipping into it for months," she said. "Don't act surprised now." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Me. I hadn't touched the account in weeks. I'd never withdrawn that much in my life. I tried to stay calm. I asked her for receipts, explanations. She refused. Said it wasn't her job to clean up my mess. It hit me right then. She was serious. She was lying. And somehow she had a plan. I should have confronted her. Yelled. Demanded answers. But I didn't. I looked her in the eye, nodded slowly, and said, "Okay, maybe you're right." I walked away. Said I needed some air. What I really needed was time. Because in that moment, I knew something deeper was going on. And if she was going to treat me like the villain, then I was going to start acting like one. Looking back now, the signs were there. All of them. I just didn't want to believe it. It started slow. She began buying new clothes more often. Nothing crazy at first. Just a few dresses, some heels, perfume. I thought maybe she was just treating herself. She'd been working a lot, picking up extra shifts. I figured she deserved it. She said it helped her feel confident. I nodded, smiled, said she looked beautiful. And she did. Then the nights out started. Girls' night, she said. Sometimes once a week, then twice. She'd come home later and later. Sometimes after midnight. Sometimes not until morning. Always with some excuse. We lost track of time. I crashed at Dana's. My phone died. It wasn't like her, but I didn't want to seem controlling. Her phone started staying face down on the counter. She began taking it with her into the bathroom, into the shower. One time I reached for it to check the time, and she snapped, grabbed it before I could even touch it. "It's private," she said, voice sharp. "Everyone needs space." I apologized. Thought maybe I was overstepping. She was quieter with me, more distant, but I blamed it on stress. Work had been rough for both of us. I thought maybe she just needed space. I told myself relationships go through phases, that we'd bounce back. One night, while she was asleep, I couldn't stop thinking about everything. The clothes, the nights out, the weird tension. Something just felt off. I got up and checked the bank app. That's when I saw it. A $900 charge to a designer brand I'd never heard of. 2 flights booked through a travel site. One to Miami, one to New York. Both one-way, both under her name. There were hotel charges, restaurant tabs, Uber rides across cities I hadn't been to. All of them recent. All of them unspoken. I scrolled through in silence, heart pounding. Every charge felt like a new punch to the gut. The next day, I asked her about one of them, a $450 dinner bill at a rooftop restaurant downtown. She barely flinched. "That was for you," she said. A surprise. I canceled it. The lie was so smooth, so confident, I almost believed her. Almost. But that night, I started saving screenshots. Every charge, every receipt. I emailed them to myself. I made a folder, labeled it something boring. Taxes 2024. I wasn't ready to blow it all up just yet. But I knew now, this wasn't a mistake. This was a setup. I waited until a Saturday morning. I made us coffee like usual. Tried to act normal. She sat across from me in one of those oversized hoodies, legs tucked under her, scrolling on her phone like nothing was wrong. I finally said it. Calmly. "Where's the money?" She looked up slowly, blinked like she hadn't heard me. "What money?" "Our savings," I said. "The account. You know what I'm talking about." There was this moment, barely half a second, where something in her eyes shifted. Not fear, not guilt, something colder. Then she smiled. "You really want to do this?" she asked, voice low. I didn't answer. She put her phone down like she was settling in for a performance. "Okay, sure. Let's talk about it. How much did you blow on that poker site?" I stared at her. "What? Don't play dumb," she said. "You've been gambling online for months. I saw the charges. You think I haven't noticed?" I almost laughed. "Almost. I've never even." "Oh, and what about the credit card?" she cut in. "The one I found in your jacket? With the cash advances? You don't remember that. There was no card. No gambling. Nothing." She was rewriting the story, piece by piece, right in front of me. "And," she added with a little shrug, "Dana said she saw you with some girl at the mall. Blonde. You two looked real cozy." I didn't even know who Dana was anymore. That week, I started noticing things. Friends texting less. Group chats drying up. Someone I'd known for 5 years unfollowed me out of nowhere. She'd been planting seeds behind my back, for weeks, maybe months. Quiet rumors, little jabs, all the right moments. And now she was watching them grow. I felt furious, humiliated, but I kept my face blank. I nodded slowly, like I was thinking it over. "Okay," I said. "Maybe I did screw up." She tilted her head, studying me. "You admitting it now?" "Maybe," I said. "I'll look into it." I stood up, rinsed my mug, told her I was heading out to clear my head. She didn't stop me. She probably thought she won. And that's exactly what I wanted her to think. Let her believe I was broken. Let her feel safe. Because if she thought the game was over, she had no idea what inning we were in. At first, I just wanted to know where the money went. That was it. I told myself it wasn't about her, or us, or whatever was falling apart between us. I just needed answers. But the more I looked, the worse it got. I didn't have money for a private investigator. She made sure of that. But I had time. So I started watching her social media. Not just the public stuff, but the tagged photos, the friends of friends. I followed rabbit holes. Clicked through usernames I didn't recognize. I made fake accounts just to lurk. It didn't take long. She had another Instagram, one I'd never seen before. Different name, no mention of me anywhere. Her bio said, NYC fiancé, a future Mrs. _______ Blackheart. Fiancé. There were pictures of her in restaurants I'd never been to, wearing clothes I'd never seen, with a guy I didn't recognize. Tall. Tan. Fancy watch. His arm was around her in every single photo. They looked happy. She looked free. My stomach turned. I clicked through more pictures. Miami Beach, a rooftop in Manhattan, wine tastings, hotel rooms with rose petals. And I paid for all of it. The worst part, the captions. Nothing better than being loved right. Finally found someone who treats me like I deserve. Some people talk about forever. Others prove it. I couldn't breathe. I sat there, alone in my apartment, staring at my phone, scrolling through a life I wasn't part of, but paid for. She'd created an entire second version of herself. She wasn't just cheating. She was replacing me. Every lie, every fake fight, every time she came home late smelling like someone else, it all made sense now. She didn't just steal money. She stole time. She stole trust. I should have felt broken. And for a while I did. But after a few hours of sitting there in the dark, something else kicked in. Not anger. Not jealousy. Clarity. She thought I was too soft, too stupid, too wrapped around her finger to ever see the truth, let alone do anything about it. She underestimated me. That was her mistake. Because now I wasn't just a guy with a broken heart. I was a guy with a plan. The next time we talked, I was a different person, at least on the outside. I knocked on the door with takeout in my hands and a fake apology ready on my lips. She opened it, surprised, cautious. I told her I missed her. Told her I'd been thinking. That maybe she was right about the money. Maybe I had been careless. Maybe I did need help. She watched me the whole time, like she was waiting for the punchline. But I kept my voice low, my expression guilty. I played the part perfectly. I opened a new account, I told her. Just for me. To keep things separate for a while. I need to prove I can handle it. She gave a little nod like she approved. Like she was above me now. A week later, I accidentally left my laptop open. Just long enough for her to see the login page. Another few days after that, I casually dropped that I'd put in a small inheritance from my uncle. Just 10 grand, I said. Figured it'd help me start over. She didn't say much. Just smiled and asked if I was feeling better. Within 48 hours, the account was empty. Gone. Every cent. I checked the history. Transfers routed to one of her hidden accounts, then immediately to another, likely her boyfriend. But I wasn't even mad. This time, I was ready. I had installed tracking software on the laptop. Every login, every keystroke, every location ping, I had it. I saved screenshots, timestamps, even screen recordings. I printed copies. I organized everything in folders. Receipts, chat logs, fake profiles, transfers, hotel stays. A timeline from the first missing dollar to the most recent theft. I even found emails where she pretended to be me, authorizing account changes. It wasn't just unethical now, it was illegal. She thought she was clever, that I was some clueless guy she could bleed dry while living out her little romance fantasy on my dime. But what she didn't realize is that I wasn't trying to win her back. I was building a case. Every lie she told, every dollar she stole. I wasn't playing checkers anymore. I was setting up a board, and every move she made brought her close. To checkmate. The moment I had everything lined up, the transfers, the screenshots, the fake account theft, the forged digital signatures, I made 3 phone calls. First was to a financial advisor. I wanted to be sure I wasn't just emotionally reacting. I laid it all out, detail by detail. He didn't say much until I finished. Then he just said, "Yeah, that's not just theft. That's financial abuse." Next was a lawyer. A good one. He listened, asked questions, took notes. When I showed him the forged documents, account authorizations I never signed, transfers done in my name, he nodded slowly and said, "We've got something real here. Turns out, if you share finances and someone uses your identity to access or redirect funds without your knowledge, that's not just a breakup issue. That's fraud. Especially if they used your name to open additional credit lines," which, surprise, she did. So I filed formal charges, identity theft, unauthorized account access, wire fraud. I also worked with the bank to freeze every joint account and flag every connected card. I had to jump through hoops, verify my ID in person, provide written statements, but once the bank saw the forged e-signatures and matched them against their logs, they didn't argue. They shut everything down. I canceled the credit cards she had quietly opened in my name. 3 of them, all maxed out. I hadn't seen a single bill because she had changed the address. Her little empire of lies was crumbling. And the best part, she had no idea yet. I didn't tell her. I didn't text. I didn't warn her. I waited. And then I got a call, not from her, but from a mutual friend who worked at a high-end boutique downtown. She sounded half shocked, half horrified. She came in all dressed up, had like 4 shopping bags already. Tried to check out with some designer purse. Her card declined. Then the backup one. Then another. She kept trying like it was a mistake. Apparently, she caused a scene. Said it was a bank error. Called someone, probably me, and cursed them out on voicemail. I didn't answer. She stormed out red-faced, with nothing. That was the moment I knew she finally felt it. Not just the financial hit, but the control slipping away. She built her life off my money, my trust, my silence. Now she'd have to figure out how to live without all 3. She didn't stay quiet for long. A few days after her cards stopped working, I started noticing things online. Subtle at first. A post on her story that said, "Never trust someone who smiles while stabbing you." Another one. "I gave everything to someone who took it all and blamed me." Then it got louder. She posted a photo of us, old from a vacation we took 2 years ago, and wrote a long caption about how I had ruined her credit, emptied her account, left her with nothing, said I was mentally abusive, said I was addicted to gambling, that I lied, cheated, and manipulated her into sharing finances only to screw her over. She made it sound convincing. She even posted blurry screenshots, text messages cut off halfway, cropped bank transactions with no context. The comments rolled in fast. "OMG, what a jerk. You deserve better, queen. Men like this are the worst." Some of our mutual friends messaged me. Some stopped talking to me altogether. Her story was spreading fast. But what she didn't know was that I had been preparing for this exact moment. So I posted too. Not a rant. Not name-calling. Just facts. A full timeline. Dates of the withdrawals. Screen grabs of the fake account she drained. Email headers from the forged authorizations. A full list of credit cards opened in my name. Photos from her secret Instagram with her fiancé. A document from my lawyer, showing the formal charges. I didn't use her name. I didn't have to. Anyone close to us knew exactly who I was talking about. I ended the post with one line. I stayed quiet because I was building proof. Now I'm just setting the record straight. It spread fast. Way faster than I expected. People started deleting comments on her posts. A few mutual friends reached out, apologizing. Some sent me screenshots of her trying to spin new lies. One even forwarded a message she sent that said, "He's trying to make me look crazy. Please don't believe him." But it wasn't working anymore. Her own sister unfollowed her. A cousin she used to party with reposted my thread. One of her closest friends sent me a DM that just said, "I had no idea. I'm sorry." The fake world she built couldn't hold up against actual truth. She wanted to go nuclear. She wanted to burn everything down. But I'd already removed the matches. It happened 2 weeks after everything blew up online. I was at my apartment, sorting through some mail, when I heard a knock at the door. I opened it, and there she was. Hoodie up, eyes red, makeup smudged like she hadn't slept in days. She didn't say anything at first. Just stood there. I stepped aside. I shouldn't have, but I did. She walked in slow, like she didn't know where to start. Her voice cracked when she spoke. He left. I didn't ask who. I didn't need to. He blocked me. I thought he was serious, but I guess I was just... She trailed off, then dropped to the couch. I messed everything up. She started crying. Really crying. Not the dramatic kind she used when she wanted attention. This was raw. But I just stood there. I thought I wanted something else, she said, wiping her face. I didn't think it'd go this far. I didn't mean to hurt you. She looked up at me like she expected something. Sympathy, forgiveness, maybe even comfort. You were the only one who ever really cared, she said, voice shaking. You tried to build something real. I was just confused, pressured. I didn't know how to get out of the mess I made. I let the silence hang for a moment, then reached for the folder on the table. I pulled out the paper and handed it to her. She took it, eyes scanning quickly, then froze. A cease and desist. You're kidding, she whispered. No, I said calmly. You've posted enough, lied enough, threatened enough. This makes it official. You contact me again, I press charges. She stared at the paper like it was written in another language. I didn't come here to fight, she said. I didn't want to end like this. I nodded. I know. I walked over and opened the door. She didn't move. You didn't just lose money, I said. You lost the one person who would have protected you. The one person who believed in you. Her lip trembled. She opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. I didn't need to hear anything else. I held the door open. She stood slowly, walked past me without another word, and stepped out into the hall. I closed the door behind her. Quietly, firmly. No yelling. No goodbye. Just the end. The last time we spoke, it wasn't dramatic. She called me from a different number. I almost didn't answer, but I was tired of things hanging in the air. I figured I'd give her one final conversation, not for her, but for me. We met at a quiet coffee shop on the edge of town. She showed up late, of course, still trying to control the tempo like she always did. She looked tired, hair unwashed, eyes dull, like the mask she always wore had finally cracked for good. She sat down across from me and stared at her drink. No hello. I just wanted to say everything's been hell, she said. Since all this started. I stayed quiet. My family won't talk to me. Everyone thinks I'm some kind of monster. And that guy? The one you found out about? He's gone. Doesn't answer my texts. Told me he doesn't want drama. Still, I said nothing. I wasn't trying to hurt you, she said, voice flat. It just got out of control. And you didn't have to go public. You made me look crazy. That part made me smile, just a little. She still couldn't see it. Still thought she was the victim. I didn't make you look anything, I said. I just posted the truth. She rolled her eyes. Yeah, well, you didn't have to make it a show. You knew how that would go. Like you didn't? She went quiet. That was the thing. She wasn't sorry for what she did. She was sorry she lost. She sighed and leaned back. So what now? We just pretend none of it happened. No, I said. I'm done pretending. She blinked, like she finally realized she wasn't getting what she came for. No sympathy. No second chance. No soft landing. Her voice dropped to a whisper. You really hate me that much? I looked her in the eyes. I don't hate you. I just don't care anymore. She stood up, gathered her things, and walked out. No hug. No apology. Not even a glance back. That night, I packed the last of my things, moved into a new place, changed my number, deleted every photo, blocked every contact, cleared every trace. No texts, no explanations, no follow-ups. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just watched her leave. And then I closed that chapter, quietly and completely, like it never even existed. It's been a few months now. Life's quieter, simpler. My savings are still recovering, but weirdly, I don't feel poor. I feel clean. I still remember the exact amount, $25,347.89. That's what she took. I'll probably never get it back. And for a while, that number haunted me. I'd see it everywhere, receipts, totals, random signs, like it was tattooed to the back of my eyes. But now? It's just a number. Because what I gained wasn't something you can count in dollars. I got myself back. When you're in something toxic, you don't realize how far you've strayed from yourself. You give and compromise and twist yourself into someone smaller, someone easier to use. And when they finally take everything, you're left trying to remember who you even were before them. That's where I was. And honestly, revenge wasn't about getting even. It wasn't about making her cry or watching her lose. It was about getting clarity, seeing everything for what it really was, without her spinning it, without me making excuses. I needed to see her clearly so I could finally walk away without doubt. I don't talk about her much anymore. Most people in my life now don't even know she existed. I don't tell the story unless someone really asks. And when I do, I don't say her name. She's not the main character anymore. I am. I've learned to trust myself again. I've got a new apartment, different job, better friends. I've stopped checking over my shoulder. And no, I'm not bitter. She made her choices. I made mine. I don't want her to suffer. I don't want revenge forever lingering in her life. That's too heavy to carry. But I do want her to remember. Every time she looks at her bank account and wonders where it all went. Every time she tries to spin another lie and it doesn't work. Every time she reaches for someone to clean up her mess and finds no one there. I want her to remember the person who would have stood by her, even after all the damage, and how she burned that bridge down with both hands. I lost $25,000, but I walked away with something way more valuable. Peace, truth, and the freedom to never, ever go back.